House to Home, presented by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
Day, everybody. Welcome back to House to Home, the segment where we talk about how you can get the home of your dreams. And since we are talking about real estate and property, Liz and Gina from RE/MAX Diamond Realty, ladies, Day, and hope you guys are having a wonderful pandemic condition of readiness 3, by the way. We are PCOR 3. All businesses are now cleared to open. So I have brought up the Monopoly board, and I'm going to build property. I'm going to build hotels. I'm going to buy railroads. I'm going to collect, community chests. And I am going to pass go. I am going to collect my $200. So how are you guys doing?
We're doing good. Thank you.
Okay, Liz, you're the all-time winner for our virtual background challenge because you are very, very meta, as the kids say. Your virtual background is actually your office, which you're sitting in right now.
Yes.
Man, that is deep.
I'm not sitting in the office, but I've got my office background.
Okay, you win. You win for all time. That is incredible. And Gina, I love that RE/MAX background. You can keep using that for all time. That's amazing.
RE/MAX all the way, Jace.
There you go. Okay, and since we are talking about acquiring property, Monopoly board. By the way, I always pick like the little shoe. That always like gets me luck. The dog and the car and everything. I never had luck with that. The little shoe is always the winner. Let's talk about homeowner warranties and what guarantees and assurances people have when they actually go through the process of acquiring their home. What typically, Gina, do people not know or get wrong?
Well, the difference between buying an existing home and buying a brand new home, I think the misconception is there aren't going to be any issues if they're buying a brand new home. I think generally speaking, people feel like, oh, it's brand new, nothing's going to be wrong with it. That's not the case. I don't find that to be the case. But the difference is if you're buying a brand new home, there's an 18-month homeowner's warranty law that kicks into place, and it covers. And the other thing that we get wrong is it doesn't, like, if I buy a brand new house and I move in there, then all of a sudden I have a leaky sink or the flapper in the toilet isn't running properly. Those things aren't covered. It's structural, mechanical, electrical, but it's, there's a different timeline for different things, but the little drippy sinks, those kind of things aren't covered.
Liz, I got to tell you, 18 months sounds kind of like I'm surprised at that. I would think that, like, if it's a new home, at least that kind of thing would be covered longer. Is that because, like, these little oopsies tend to happen in the first year and a half?
Well, the law is 18 months, but there's a difference. We wanted to distinguish. If it's a brand new home, yes, you do have an 18-month warranty. If you're buying a home that's maybe 2-3 years older, that may not have the warranty. And in both cases, a new home and a home that's maybe a few years older or even much older, buyers now, what they're doing is hiring an inspector to make sure that if you're buying a used home, that there are no issues. But even with a brand new home, buyers are hiring an inspector. So that 18-month warranty is applicable for a brand new home. So as Gina puts it, there is a law that states what are covered under the law regarding the warranty. So for example, if your appliance, one of them, and I just had that case recently, conked out, and it was there's no warranty associated with the structure of the home. You may want to go to the vendor to see how old the machine is and is it warranted. However, the structure of the home is different, totally different, and covered by the law, and it is 18 months. So for example, if you're an owner of a brand new home, let's say you rented it and then you sold it 2 years later, that 18-month warranty is still in effect. It's still in effect. So if someone bought it 2 years later, even though someone rented it, the warranty still is covered from the time it was sold. So when it changed hands, that's when the 18-month warranty kicks over.
Okay, so Gina, you actually gave me a copy of the law right now. Do we actually want to take a look at the public policy so people know for sure?
Yeah, and it defines that. What Liz is discussing is defined clearly in the law, and I think
All right, here we go.
some sellers I think get confused about what they are supposed to be covering and when that actually goes away. We have a situation right now where the occupancy permit was issued many years ago, right, Liz?
Yeah.
You know, we've discussed this with the seller. We've showed him a copy of the law, and we've explained, even though the complex might be 5-6 years old, he is now selling it, and as the developer, he has to honor the 18-month warranty.
Okay, I'm bringing up the part specifically that says about the 18 months. There you go. I'm highlighting it. Okay. The home is warranted against all defects of construction materials and workmanship for a year and a half. Okay, now I feel a little bit better about that. It just seems to me like 18 months was like, that's a drop in the bucket when you move into a new home and 3 years down the road. Okay, now I think I understand, and I think I'm a little bit I feel a little bit more confident with that now.
And Jason, if you look at the line directly below that, it does state
Yes, ma'am.
there are situations where it's no longer covered. Like if the home is damaged by earthquake or typhoon, then those items you need to go to your insurance provider to get those items. The damage was caused by that event.
Okay.
And that's the line. If you
Lawyers would call that force majeure, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
and if you,
because it says right there, neither or damages caused by acts of God, the negligence or intentional act of any other person, blah, 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 blah.
Yes, exactly.
Wow, okay. Okay, that's very interesting. But okay, and now that we know that that is the law and that is what the government provides the assurance to the homeowner, that's what everybody has to comply with. When you're making a deal with a seller, can they sweeten the deal on a piece of property by saying, that's what Guam says the law is, I'm also extending a warranty under my terms, or is that something you can negotiate for?
I mean, if the owner wants to extend the warranty a bit further, that's up to them. But we want to follow the law. Those are the guidelines that we present to any buyer, that they do have a warranty and they feel a bit more comfortable because during the 18-month period, there are warranties that are covered, So as Gina puts it, their home insurance will cover other items. So of course, if you're getting a loan for a brand new home, the bank will not allow you to purchase it until you complete your documentation, which includes a homeowner's policy. And homeowner's policy cover typhoon, earthquake, fire. I mean, there's a number of things that are covered with a home insurance. But again, it's separated between for the 18-month period in terms of the warranties. Anything after that, of course, then they could go to their insurance.
Interesting.
And yes, Jason, actually, and that's a good point you brought up. Developers, sellers who are selling new homes, they can sweeten the deal. So as Liz said, the homeowner warranty provides for the minimum coverage, but a developer can sweeten the deal. And how so? The buyer and seller can get together. I've seen sellers provide on pest. So this would be termite treatment.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some where it's a minimum of 3 years. And I've seen some go up and say, no, the coverage I paid for is for 5 years. And maybe with air conditioning, a developer can sweeten the deal and say, I'm providing these ACs, which have a 1-year warranty, because mechanical doesn't have to be 18 months. It's the manufacturer's warranty. But what if a buyer says, listen, I'm willing to pay, hey, seller, you're only giving me a year, but could I upgrade the ACs and maybe get a longer warranty? So these are all things you can negotiate with the seller that you're working with through your agent, but it is something that could be sweetened, as you mentioned, Jace.
Very cool. Okay, so any final thoughts, ladies? And by the way, everybody, other side, these little properties right here, everybody wants to go for Park Place and Boardwalk. Right over here on this side of the board, those little tiny purple ones right after go, those things will make you bank if you play your cards right, literally. Okay, so final thoughts on relatively Is this 18 months? Is that something that is honored throughout the U.S. mainland or in other like regional places like Hawaii or throughout Micronesia, or is this something that is unique to Guam?
It's a Guam law. I mean, each state have their own laws, but for Guam, this is what we honor. But I'm sure each state has their own period of warranties. Is pretty standard, but for Guam, this is what we cover.
Do you happen to
So
know, is
sometimes
18 months shorter or longer than most other places?
I'm thinking it's about the same. Gina,
Okay.
do you know whether any of the states? Well, we just work on the laws for Guam. That's
Sure.
pretty, pretty what we handle here.
Yeah, I think it's about average, but I don't know state to state that it's different, Jace.
Okay. Oh, well, I got to tell you, in the beginning of this segment and everything, I thought 18 months. I was like, wow, that really doesn't seem like a lot. But now I feel a lot more confident. So as I acquire all of these railroads and utilities and properties and everything, and build my build my property empire and everything like that, I'm definitely going to you guys first, because I feel pretty good about 18 months now. A year and a half is actually a good amount of time. So thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
All right. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you next time, Jace.
House to Home, presented by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.